And the other thing is, anytime I do this, for example, like if I decided right now that I was going to go up there and look around, they sometimes are waiting for me when I go up there. Like they're already there. And then other times they're not there. And then, sometimes I'll have to find them myself, which is, I know it all sounds strange, but I can't really see how the military could have that sophisticated technology, because with the military stuff, and they are doing this is real, the military does do stuff like this. The stuff that the military has, though, it's not as sophisticated. So they will attack me when it's their time, not when it's my time. They don't just sit there and wait for me to contact them. They are contacting me when they feel like it. That's how the military works. But this is different. This is like anytime I ask for help or anytime I rise up and look around, they're waiting for me with information. I don't think the military is that advanced, because if they were that advanced, wouldn't they do that all the time? Why would they use the less advanced technology if they could use the more advanced technology? I don't think they are that advanced. I think these might be angels, you guys. I think this might really be higher beings that exist in a higher dimension, and I don't know. I'll just tell you what I saw. So they started, showing me things that I would find out the next day was true or real. For example, where the sun rose and set at my house, because I had a false idea of where it was. And just in my mind, I thought it was over in a certain direction, and they would show me in the vision where the sun rose, and then I would go out and see, oh, they were right. They showed me where the sun rises, and I was totally wrong where I thought it rose. So I know that's not proof to you, but it was proof to me that what they were showing me in the visions was true. So I'm just going to give you a basic rundown about what they've shown me is going to happen in the next year and a half. I don't know if I can give you this in the exact order that I can't give it to you in the order that I received it, and I don't even think I can give it to you in the order that I think it's going to happen. I'm just going to tell you it the way that I remember it in my mind. They showed me an object in the sky that is going to appear over the eastern horizon. At least in New York City, that's where I am, and so that's where I saw the vision. I was in my vision, I was standing on the street in New York, and I noticed this red, it was in the middle of the day, and I noticed this red line on the eastern horizon. It just looks really deep red color, fiery, and I was just kind of thinking, what is that? And then this large object rose over the eastern horizon, and it was a pinkish color, and it was larger than the moon. You could see, it sort of looked like the moon because you could see craters on it, and it sort of was misshapen, kind of the way the moon looks before it's full. And it was like a pinkish color, but it was larger than the moon. And people on the street, and this was just a normal day, by the way. This was just a sunny day, and it was just a normal day in New York. People were walking around. It was a normal day. There wasn't anything weird about it, except this red line on the horizon. And then this object came up over the horizon, and the people on the street were dropping. They were just dropping. It like fainting, passing out from just complete shock at seeing this huge object in the sky. So that's one of the visions that I had. In fact, I've had several visions of the pole shift itself. My first vision, an angel took me to the North Pole, and there was this snow falling around me. It was just dead silent. And then all of a sudden I saw the North Pole slide down in the Pacific Ocean, way down into the Pacific Ocean. So that was the first vision. Then I had another vision that was a little more specific about the pole shift. And I saw the Earth make a quick jolt to the east and then a quick jolt to the west. And then I saw the North Pole, and I'm not sure which it did first. It shifted back into Europe about 20 degrees, and then it shifted down into the Pacific Ocean really far, like 90 degrees, like almost 90 degrees. It was a far, way down into the Pacific Ocean. And then when it shifted back to Europe, it was only like 20 degrees. But I'm not sure which one of those it did first. I can't remember. And then it adjusted itself where it was before, and then it went back down toward, I think it was in Nevada somewhere. It was inland from the coast, and it was just pretty far down. Like, I just keep thinking it was somewhere near Nevada, and that's where it settled, and that's where it stopped. And then another vision that I had, several angels were waiting for me when I rose up one night, and they took me over to the Pacific Northwest, and it was all snowy, and it was dark, and there was no electricity on the Pacific Northwest, but there were these helicopters all over, and I got the sense that they were evacuating people. And I went down myself. I wanted to look at Los Angeles and see what was going on there. So I went down to look at Los Angeles, and there was nothing there. It was mud. It was just mud. And it looked like there had literally just been a big landslide. There was no lights, there was nothing. There were no helicopters, which to me that meant that whatever happened in LA happened much sooner than the Pacific Northwest evacuation is going to happen. So from what I saw, something really, LA is going to go under the water. I mean, it's going to be a landslide, a gigantic landslide, obviously, but a lot of people don't believe that. I have so many friends in LA, and they don't believe it. And they say that can't ever happen. I've looked at the science. I mean, some of you will say, "Oh, visions, it's total bull." I've looked at the science of it and the geology of Los Angeles, and if you just take an hour out of your day and look at the geology of Los Angeles, you will see for yourself that it is possible for Los Angeles to slide into the ocean. The entire Los Angeles basin, the reason why they call it a basin is because it's literally sand that accumulated in a crack in between two gigantic tectonic plates, what they call an accretionary wedge. It's a crack, okay? It's a crack between two tectonic plates. That's what an accretionary wedge is. That's what Los Angeles is built on. Sediment, sand that just accumulated in this crack between the two plates, right? The two plates are moving in opposite directions, and just north of Los Angeles, there's a mountain range that goes from east to west. Solid rock. That's mountain ranges. That's what mountain ranges are. They're solid rock. It's cutting across, and it's part of the North American plate. When these two plates jolt, and they will, because there are major earth changes coming ahead, when these two plates slide against each other going in opposite directions, Pacific plates moving northwest, now these mountains on the North American plate are moving southeast right into Los Angeles. And they're solid rock and LA is sand.